Have you seen the chai wala?
Oh yeah,
Recently,
very recently,
yeah,
Dolly
that's
Chai.
the
Yeah,
male version of the Inchak Puja. So
right.
that guy is getting a lot of popularity. He's traveling through private jets. People are taking him for publicity, this and that. But he's not a brand. If somebody asks, you won't believe the first birthday gift. I think one of the first birthday gifts that Ranjeet got to me during this Corona time was WebEasy course of 10,000 rupees. I was like, check your email, check your email. What the hell? You're gifted me a course. I was like, yeah, this is going to help us. This is going.
Please share about yourself. What is your business about? Who do you serve? What is your audience? And a little about your business model.
Brand ourselves as Ranjeet Raj, and we are into graphic designing and social media management. We have worked with 100 plus international clients, and in regards to revenue, we have made over $100,000 till now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Female Founders Podcast. You have seen her on multiple ads, as I have. She's the graphic design expert, and we are going to spill secrets from her how she's building this business with her partner, who's also a business partner and life partner. She holds close to 6 to 7 years of corporate experience and 3 years of building her own business. She is the right guest to help me understand how to make transition from job to business, how to move from becoming business partners to life partners. So let's start and try to spill all secrets that we can. Hi Rajluxmi, and as you prefer it, Raj, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for just that beautiful introduction. I don't think anyone has ever given me that kind of an introduction, so I really
Oh,
appreciate that. Thank you. And
thank you
yes, it's
so
lovely to be here. I was looking. I have watched, I guess, all the episodes that you have posted till date, and I was really looking forward to be a part of it. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Let's get started. And the first question that I mostly ask all my guests is that why did you choose to become an entrepreneur?
Well, if I say I was too greedy, then that won't sound right. But I really wanted to live a life where I'm doing well for myself and my family. Like I'm a girl from a middle class family, and I know money is so important. I mean, just to buy the minimum things in life, you have to have money. And I just wondered, and my father is a businessman, although a small businessman, business owner, but I realized very early in life that if you want to have something of your own, it's, I think, way better than working under somebody else. So that kind of mindset was already there. But then we realized that, okay, this is something we need to get into and it's going to get us money as well. So we thought, okay, let's just go for it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it all started.
Yes, I think, I really like the way you said that it might sound greedy, but it's not the way it is. And I totally relate to that because somehow the kind of narratives we, used to hear back then or see on social media even today, I came from the same perspective. I jumped into entrepreneurship for the freedom of time and money, which was the opposite. And I know you would agree to that. It takes time to build. So I think absolutely having that vision for yourself and looking at what you want in your life is completely that something that you do for yourself. Building your own takes time, and you've done that. So I don't think it would be greedy. It has been portrayed like that because we have been built into the false narrative that chat gpt is going to help you get $1,000 a day, but it's not how it is. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes heartbroken deals to get there. So
Absolutely, I
absolutely.
agree.
Yeah. And I think, while you were talking about this, you said that rather than working for someone else, you'd work for yourself. And I would like you to go back to your corporate days where 6 to 7 years, you were working in a corporate firm. I would like you to share that what were you doing and when was that one moment where you felt that no, now this is done. Now I need to quit and start something of my own. What was that life-changing moment?
Okay, so I was working in Wipro initially, and that was for around 3 years. And then I joined Genpact, which was in the financial team. I was in the financial invoicing team, and there I met Ranjit. He was in a different team altogether, but there was a lot of exposure, to be honest, because I was the SME, subject matter expert, and there all the client communications went through me. And this is, I'm talking about pre-corona era. So clients
Right.
were coming over to India, and I had the responsibility to handle them, to talk to them, whatever their questions were. I was taking care of that. And I really liked it, honestly. Because, people were like, oh my God, Raj is talking to all these people. And they were like, when we used to walk, and they were like, wow. So I was liking that attention because I was talking to people,
Right.
from the Western country, and people have a fascination. I'm not denying that. And
Yeah, I
then
agree.
yeah, I mean, we have seen that people get mad over getting a selfie with a foreigner, no matter if he's a beggar in that country. I mean, no offense. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that. It started like that, and then it got into a fascination. I started understanding their mentality, and they were like very casual, very easy to go, like very easy to understand. And I just figured out that okay. And then this corona thing happened, so there was a thing at the back of my mind that okay, maybe we can do something about this. But when corona happened, the job security and all of that, I mean, it was a very bad period, I guess, for all of us. But again, it worked as a boon for us as well, because we got some extra time. We were working on a side hustle because I think salary was not enough, to be honest. As I told you, I'm very greedy for work because I want to treat my family I want to give them the best life. So you can call me whatever names, I don't care. But yeah, I had thing, and then we thought that okay, let's get into, like, we were investing in mentors as well. And we had
Right.
that mindset that if you have to grow, then you have to invest in yourself, you have to learn that. You won't believe the first birthday gift. I think one of the first birthday gifts that Ranjit got to me during this corona time was WebEasy Sisinti course of 10,000 rupees. I was like, check your email, check your email. What the hell? You're gifted me a course. I was like, yeah, this is going to help us. This is going to. And then at that time, I was pretty naive and I didn't understand, but it meant a lot. Like, you are uplifting your partner. So it
Right.
started from there. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we started, that transition started happening for the first 6 months. We got our first client when we had only around 300 followers on Instagram. And
Okay.
we worked around 2 weeks with that client. It was a 2 week job, and we got $650, which was around 45,000, which was near about
Right.
the combination of mine and Ranjit's salary together. And then
Right.
it's, people say that you get the taste of success. We got that. And we were like, okay, this is something interesting. Let's transition to that. And that's when we left our jobs after that, one after the other. And we just took the leap of faith, and rest is history.
Right. I think, listening to your journey, I have so many questions popping up, and that's why I was scribbling so that I don't forget any. I think the first question I would like to ask is, while you were sharing about your journey, you very rightly said that you got the exposure and you got the learning, handling the role that you were. But my curious question is that if today I ask you that as a female founder, if you were to suggest any female founder, who's just out of school, maybe let's say out of college, they've just finished college and now they have a chance either to take a job or build a business of their own, what would you suggest them, that go build a business directly, or would you suggest them to do a job for a certain period and then build a business?
Well, honestly, I have seen a lot of people who get into freelancing or who get into entrepreneurship. They start regretting their this job life. I will not agree with that. I am definitely not into that because I really appreciate everything that I've learned from there. And when you're starting off, business is not something that you can build overnight. The personal brand
100%.
that you're going to, yeah, so the personal brand that you're going to create, it takes time. It is a slow and gradual process. You just have to make sure that it's an uprising process. You're not just, losing track. But yes, I would definitely suggest that first get your finances right. Then you have the liberty and choice to actually go ahead and, build something of your own. So eventually it will happen. I'm very sure every girl, every woman have that capability. to build something of their own, if they can build their own family, I think business is just a mere thing. Okay, but
Oh,
yes.
I love that. I
Exactly. I
love
mean,
that.
that's why,
Yeah,
yeah, women are given the power to reproduce. Why do you think God has given that power? Because they
yeah,
know how to handle everything. They are emotional, but they are strong and fierce at the same time. So
yeah.
everything is possible. It's just that, you have to start with a job, you have to get your finances right, and then you have the choice. I mean, I'm assuming that most of the people who get into freelancing, they don't have a good backup behind them. Like, that's the need of freelancing where it all starts. So once you
Right.
have that sorted, then you have the choice to go ahead and get into whatever you want to do. Be it, you can become a singer, you can go to India's Got Talent, whatever you want to do, or you can build a business.
Yeah, I think I absolutely love that. And especially when you said that, that light on bulb moment was where you said that a woman can take care of her family, then business is a mere thing. I think that was such an inspiring thing to say because a lot of people actually put a working woman on the top and a homemaker, at the bottom saying that, oh, you're a homemaker. But
Yeah.
that's the kind of privilege and the inspiration that that one statement gave, that if you have the power to build a family, then business is like, you'll be able to do it. So I
I
think
mean,
that was
I
really an
have
empowering statement.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I'm getting pretty excited because this is such a thankless job. I mean, I have seen my mother. She's handling the finances of the house.
Right.
She is taking care of what is going to come into the house. She's taking care of what is going to be the food that's going to be served. What are we going to wear? How the home should be. So, the operations, management, whatever we think
Oh,
about,
I love that.
everything she's handling, but it's a thankless job. We just assume that that is what she needs to do. So I think that's the being a homemaker, that's the if you can crack that, then you can do anything in this world.
I love this. I absolutely love this conversation. I think this is going to turn out to be one of my best podcasts. So I
Ah,
love the conversation as to how this is going forward. I'd like to take one step back and go to the finances because I think you very rightly mentioned that sorting the finances is a huge thing. Is because when you start immediately into business, or maybe you quit a job and you do not have a backup of any sort, maybe a family member. In my case, my husband was my backup. I didn't have savings, but he was my backup. So some kind of a backup is needed because when you go out as a business owner, you go out from the sense of desperation and you take any client at any amount when you don't have that backup, and that backup is your peace of mind. In your case, how did you manage your finances? You've already mentioned that left the job one after another. How was the transition period? What was the time duration between you quitting your job and your husband quitting your job? How was that transition?
so there was a difference of, I guess, only 3 to 4 months. So I can't say that we were saving lakhs in between that, because our salaries were merely 25,000 or maybe less than that. Okay, so
Yeah.
what we did was, for all the savings that we had, kept for a rainy day, we just started saving from the freelancing itself. Like, we made
Right.
sure that for the next 6 months, whatever I was getting for my personal expenses and my family expenses, at least for the next 6 months, those finances are sorted. And that's when we decided to quit our jobs and, just experiment. Because for the first few months, I took it for granted that I'm not going to get any clients, or maybe I'm not going to get any work. So you have to plan for at least 4 to 6 months in advance. Just calculate that, okay, what are the basic things? Rent, accommodation, this, that, whatever. Like EMIs, of course, from a middle class family, we all know how many EMIs we have to
Yeah.
pay every month. So
Yeah.
everything calculated, once you have that sorted for the next 4 to 6 months, I think you can get into it. And if you are following the right strategies, things will start working out within that time period. So that's what we did as well.
Okay. I have a very curious question coming to my mind, and I really want to understand the secret sauce behind this. My question is, and I'd like to explain a little bit, how did you build the mindset of, being prepared to be an entrepreneur? When I say this, I mean because in the world that we live today, like I was sharing, the social media narrative is such that you are made to believe that within 1 month you can scale a funnel, you can use ChatGPT, the AI will work for you, you learn $1,000 a day. And even back in the days, pre-COVID times as well, when digital was still on the boom, the programs that you did taught you that you can make multi-fold in the next 30 to 40 days. But here you are saying that I was prepared that in next 6 months I might not get any client. How did you build this kind of a mindset, which is an entrepreneur mindset? What did you do exactly to build this?
Well, the irony is, well, I'm too much on social media. Like I used to be there, glued on Facebook and Instagram. But the thing is, I was only using it for editing my pictures, or to just take picture perfect moments. But slowly we understood that there are so many mentors, and from there, the kind of experience they have, we are not just paying for that 3 days workshop, or that kind of that engagement, that conversation with these people who have experience of years. They actually break it down for you, and that's why I say YouTube is not the university that you should look up to. Like a lot
Right,
of people, I don't know why you can build a website on, you can learn on YouTube. Why invest 10,000 rupees on this, boss? The kind of exposure they have to talk with clients, and the failures they have received, what they have learned from it, those experiences you're not going to get on YouTube. I mean,
right,
who does
right,
that? So from
right,
there we have learned a lot. And of course, the irony part that I was talking about, the most of the viral content that we have seen so far, they are all about how to get 10,000 followers in 3 days or 1 week, how to make this much money in this. These are not realistic. I mean, we
right,
have to being I never do that. Like, you must have seen, or you can check out, I never post unrealistic content, giving a false hope to people. These
right,
things take time. As people say, good things take time. So yes, it will take time. It's a business. It's not a cake that you just mix the batter and you put it in the oven and it's ready. So it
right,
will take time, and you are building your brand. If your brand is so fragile that you can actually make it overnight, then I don't think that brand should exist. This is not something
right,
like a, yeah, it's not a snacks. It's your brand. You have to
right,
work on that. You should savor it. You should give it time, and then it'll turn up. So of course, I
right,
learned from the mentors. We have spent a lot. Honestly, you won't believe the first client that we got. It was, as I told you, around 45,000 rupees. Before, prior to that, before we had to send the contract and all, we had no clue what to do. Like, we had this notion that for a contract you have to get to a lawyer and you have to get it notarized. We had no idea. So we enrolled into Ruta Mittal's. There was a very good course. Ruta Mittal
right,
was, yeah, it was marketing accelerator. So we invested in that for around 45,000. So it was all minus. Like, I made 45, I spent 45 or 50 because it was an EMI again. I paid the interest. So it's all gone. But from there, the things that I learned, I kept on implementing in the next projects, and eventually I started making profit. So you have
yeah,
to be ready that, boss, I have to invest, and then only I can expect profits. Without investing with Chat GPT, as you said very rightly, that Chat GPT, you need people behind Chat GPT. It can't work on its own. Like, that's
right.
really stupid. I'm sorry, but so many people are falling prey to this. These little kids nowadays, they spend so much. That's definitely not cool, not advisable.
Yeah, I have so much, food for thought right now in my brain. I've just scribbled everything. I think where you mentioned about the mentors, I am absolutely in alignment with you because I believe in the fact I always say mentors are cheat codes. Just hold their hands and they'll take you where you want to be because it is said that if you want to become something, just hang out with them more. And that's what community and masterminds are for. Like you rightly said, you can learn everything on YouTube, but the real life experiences and the energy of that person can only be felt when you invest in them. And I like the word invest, is because it is not an expense. You are
Hmm.
always going to learn and make more money, or build yourself personally, like personal growth or professional growth, but you'll see a return on investment. It's not an expense, it's an investment. And
Yeah.
a lot of people have to realize this, that when you're starting a business, you need to learn how a business is done. A lot of people feel I can do it all on my own. I'll do it my way. I'll learn it for free on YouTube. But remember, that's the kind of mindset you will also attract. If you want to do everything for free, if you want everything for free on YouTube, then your client also might come and say that do a website for 4,000 templates are available, because that's the kind of, mindset you're attracting. So I love for you to mention that and highlight that, because I'm complete alignment on that. Apart from that, I would also like to, highlight the point where you said about if your brand is built overnight, it is very fragile. I would like to highlight that, bad marketing does not mean a good business. We do not have to build a Dhinchak Puja overnight because it
True.
results in fame.
That's
It
such a
results in fame
remarkable
and money.
example. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it results in fame and money, but then it doesn't result in a good brand positioning.
Agreed.
That when your brand is built overnight, it might mean that it's a very fragile brand, which is that you might build overnight like a Dhinchak Puja, but good fame, I would not say good fame. Fame and money doesn't mean a good business, because that is not going to last. It has a very short shelf life. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Let me answer that with a question. Have you seen the Chai Wala?
Oh yeah,
Recently,
very recently,
yeah,
Dolly
that's
Chai.
the
Yeah,
male version of the Inchak Puja. So
right,
that guy is getting a lot of popularity. He's been, he's traveling through private jets. People are taking him for publicity, this and that. But he's not a brand. If somebody asks you to use that person, or maybe MS Dhoni as a brand ambassador, 110% people will go for MS Dhoni because he has created a brand for himself over time. So
right,
these, I don't think these are very short lived, as you said. For the
right,
Nitya
right.
Puja, if we can take that example as well. There are so many more. Let's not talk about Urfi Javed now. But yeah, I mean, these things, they just attract a little bit of crowd from here and there, but eventually they'll just vanish. So it's better
Right.
to maintain your stature and just keep on doing what you do best, and you will see that eventually people will start appreciating you for what you are and what you're doing. So yes,
Yes.
absolutely what you said.
Yes, 100%. Also, I would like to ask that very slightly you were mentioning that on your Instagram, I've seen that as well, that you never try to post what other people are claiming, that how to get success in 30 days, 17 days, or whatever the gimmicks are. I would like to ask, some things are, needed to stay in the competition. How do you manage to stay authentic in a world where everyone else is not? Because sometimes you lag behind when you don't follow what others are following. So, how do you manage to balance it out?
Well, I won't take the credit and say that everybody is not authentic or, things like that. But it's just that I believe in, I'm a very religious person, to be honest. Okay. And
Right,
I just believe whatever you give, that comes back to you. Maybe if I'm
right,
doing false claims and I'm saying that you can do this, 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 if I promise and give people, false hopes, that is going to come back to me. Maybe people will not appreciate that content because maybe I'm not getting viral because of that. Because I have seen people who are getting 100K followers in, let's say, 6 months, and these are real followers. I'm not saying bot followers, because they are
right,
posting videos. And no offense, but these beautiful girls, they are like, just tuck 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 tuck, and the reel is getting 4 million, 5 million views. I don't know what quality, what content they're sharing, but it's getting 4 million, 5 million views. I'm very curious, and I just think what kind of audience they are attracting. And I'm
right,
happy with my 28,000 followers because I am making my living out of it. And I think rather than focusing on the numbers, that how my content can go viral and how I can get 50K, 100K followers, I would concentrate on the numbers which are monetary. So if
right.
I'm getting money, there is money in my bank and I'm getting constant work, I don't think, that important. I'm just sharing the work that I feel that I should share, and that's helping the community to learn something. And I'm happy doing that. I'm not in that rat race anymore. Yeah,
Right, right. So I wanted to understand, did you, and we're jumping, a little bit now.
that's
So I
okay.
wanted to understand that did you learn digital marketing as a entire concept? Did you learn all the bits and pieces of it and then decided to do what you do today? Or did you specifically go for the one skill that is graphic design?
So that's a very good story to start with. And let me
Please
tell
share it
you,
with us.
let me tell you, this was very uncertain. Like, we never got a proper training on digital marketing, like a proper, all the features, copywriting, this, that, all the things. And we didn't even know that we wanted to be a graphic designer. It all started with an Instagram course, a very basic Instagram course that we started with. And we were also following Digital Pratik at that time. And he used to always say that whatever you're saying, whatever you're doing, just document that. And we thought that why not, we started designing just on mobile phone. We were designing content and we were putting up all random stuff. We had no clue what is niche, everything. Instagram, how to grow on Instagram, how to design, how to do this, how to do that. We had no inclination whatsoever for graphic designing. But this first client who came up, he said that he wanted some graphics from us, and he was an international client. So it was a big boost because honestly, I couldn't believe that in 300 followers, you can get a client. And he is approaching us for something that we were not even promoting. So then we thought, okay, dimag ki batti jalao and let's get into this. And we designed it. He liked it. We got $650. And then we thought, okay, this is the right part. Maybe God wanted us to do this and not anything else. So no, we have not received any training as such specifically for graphic designing as well. It's all trial and error. For your in office, we used to work for 9 hours. After that, we come back at 12 at night, and then we used to sit and edit and design up to 5 to 6 more hours, and we used to sleep for just 2 to 3 hours a day. And days have been like that as well. So yes, it was not easy, but when you're trying to make your life, it's not that difficult as well. So that's where it all started. For Instagram, Saurav actually helped us a lot. And his content was something that we really liked, and we really initially, it helped us a lot. And from there, gradually you just learn, like, the way you start to walk, the way our business also started to walk in that way.
Right, right. There's this famous saying which says walk the talk, and your story completely relates to that because I kind of felt really nice when you said that we've not taken any formal training, but it has been out of experience and it has been out of working. So, what I understand is there are a lot of people who do courses theoretically and then claim to have big numbers. But at the same time, if you are able to, having a theoretical training is, of course, good. But if you're able to then put it into practice, put it into experience, and then deliver a good service, then it is when it makes a good business. And I think in your case, maybe that one piece of, one course of doing a graphic design as a formal thing was not there. But at the same time, bits and pieces were there. The most important piece was the implementation of it and building experience. The first design would tell you a few things that you would have incorporated in the second, the third, and then maybe the 300th one, which would have been the best one that you would have felt. But today you might do the 500 one and you would feel, oh, now this one is the best one. So that experience keeps building. And I would love to ask, you mentioned about Saurav, and I do know that you also have a collaboration of a course that we see ads about. I would love to know that how did that happen?
So I was doing all this thing, the Canva designing and all. And I'm very specific that I work only on Canva. Like, I didn't want to be jack of all trades, master of none. So I
Right.
thought that as a person, I love shortcuts. Okay, not in the long term, but when doing my work, I like it to be short and simple, the least amount of time I need to spend, and the best output I can get out of it. I really am interested in that. So that's
Right.
how we got into, like, Ranjit introduced me to Canva, and we started experimenting, and it really worked out. And one day, DS Digital Scholar, they invited us for a session. And we were over the moon because we were like, wow, I'm going to be teaching at Digital Scholar, like a, guest session, something like that. And they offered us some, some compensation as well. And I said, no, I am such, it's such a privilege to actually teach for them, because if you go and search, they are the topmost, one of the topmost, digital marketing agencies. So I was like, okay, that's a privilege, and we would love to do that. And we did it, and they really liked it, and they then permanently, I became a faculty at DS. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it all started, and we do have a Canva course together. Although, it has been almost 2 years, and we are just, our collaboration is complete now. And we are working on a personal project right now that is only by Ranjit Raj. But yes, it has been a phenomenal journey, and I'm still teaching there, and they like me, I guess. So that's something I really like. I love teaching, as you can probably have noticed, that I love talking. And this is how I converse in the classes as well. And they are, they're so kind, the students. They tag me, they're always like, wherever they find me, they really love it. And I love the attention, honestly. I'm the person who loves to be in the spotlight. So yeah.
Absolutely. I relate to you on so many levels there. So 100%. Yes. I think in the middle of the conversation, you've mentioned a very special name. That is Ranjit. I'd like you to talk about it, who he is, what he means to you, and how was the journey of building a business together?
Yeah. So I can say that Raj would have not existed without Ranjit. And that's how Ranjit Raj came into the picture. Because I was very happy in my corporate job, all that, I was, as I told you, I was liking the attention. The manager used to say, Raj, you have to handle these clients. They're coming over. They're like, okay. And I was really liking that. And then Corona happened, and Ranjit used to always, so I met him in Genpact. Okay, and he was a colleague, and he was a good friend actually. So he used to always tell me that, Raj, why don't you check out this video? And he used to send me videos of interviews of entrepreneurs who are doing something in the digital marketing field. And I used to think that this is just normally, you sell Oriflame and Avon, those products. This is something like that, because
Yeah.
marketing, when you are not well aware, you take marketing in a wrong way. It's not wrong. Your
Right.
perception can be wrong. Yeah.
Right.
So I used to think that, and let's say if he has sent me a video of 15 minutes, after 15 minutes, I used to watch Big Boss for 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, I used to message him, yeah, that was a great video. Thank you for sharing. That's it.
I hope he doesn't watch this podcast.
He knows about it. He knows. I mean, it's very clear between us
Oh,
that
then
what
we're
I
sorted.
do. Yeah. So
Yeah.
but when COVID actually happened, we realized that, okay, it's time to get serious. And then I realized, and the first client, it actually transformed. Like till then, I was not 100% convinced. But after that, I realized that, okay, there's good money and we can get into it. So it's all him. Because of him, we got into this, and we were dating. We just got married last December, and it was a great companionship, I can say. He is the person behind the camera, and I'm the one who handles, you can say, the front part of it. I'm the
Yeah.
face of Ranjit Raj, and he's the mindset and the mastermind behind, being a Big Boss fan, I can use that word. He's the mastermind behind, Ranjit Raj. And he does all the research part, all the intelligence related part. He is the one, and I just execute. So I would
Right.
get
Is he
all the
behind the
credit
lens
to
right
him.
now? Is
Uh,
he behind the camera right
no,
now?
he's on the other room right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he will be watching it. He has
Yeah.
actually pressed me for it. You won't believe.
Oh.
Like, yeah, you should watch the videos. I said I already watched them. I am in the group. So it's like, no, you watch the videos, you see how she asks questions, you have to be prepared. I said, the more you prepare, the more you just, just mess up everything. It's better to not prepare and just be your natural self. But yes, he
Right.
has been the pillar in my life. And after marriage, it has just strengthened, and, it's easier, because now we work whole night. Like, the recording and everything, after doing all the shows in the morning, at night, we just sit, record, plan content. It's all our time. So that has become easier. Otherwise, we had to find out time. Yeah.
Right, right. I think I absolutely love the energy and the zeal with which you shared about him is because I could sense it in your voice. And I feel one of the best relationships that you can have while, especially when you're building a business as a female founder, is your spouse and is your partner, is because your goals should be aligned as to what you want. If you are not aligned, if your goals are not aligned, then arguments and disagreements become a part of the daily chores. So that is why I wanted to ask you this question, is because both of you should know that what is that one goal you're aiming towards. And you very rightly mentioned, and more entrepreneurs that I talk to, which are couple entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
there's this one entrepreneur that I also interviewed, Sadhna and Vineet. They're also a couple, power couple. Even they said that, as a couple entrepreneur, we play our strengths. And that's what I understood from your story. Your strength is the, client interaction, or the one who's, the face of the business. And he's the strategy of the business. So that is both of you playing your own strengths. So I think that is one pattern all the female founders who are listening to us should pick up, that your partner should be aligned with your goals. And second, both of you should have your individual strength and play at it when it comes to business.
Yeah, very
I
well put together. And just one thing, I would disagree with you. Everything was very nice, just that we don't have disagreements. I mean, other than the fact that we have the same goal, we have disagreements on everything, literally, because we have two different mindsets. And I think that helps in your business to grow, because whatever is the best, we go for that in that case. Otherwise, if he just says and I say yes, it's not something that you have to have an opposition so that the ruling party works well. So that's how it
Yeah,
works for us. Yeah.
yeah. I think I would like to, and you very rightly pointed out, I'd like to change the word from disagreement is a good thing because you can
Yeah.
brainstorm. When you are not aligned, it turns into arguments, which is not a good thing. So
Correct.
I think I was coming from that space that if you're not aligned in your goals, it turns into arguments. But disagreement is a healthy practice because it helps you brainstorm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I would also want to ask that, what was the change in your overall environment? Because, in India, marriages do not happen between two people. It happened towards two families that come together. And now suddenly you are, responsible for so many people, both of you together. So how was your life in respect to business change while you were dating and now that you're married? Are there any kind of different situations, or maybe you have to divide your time, or anything that has changed from dating to being married now, with perspective to the business in place?
So I think it has changed for the better, because at that time my parents were backing me and his parents and his family were backing him. But now we have two ki shakti, do ki shakti. So we have two families working together for the best of our interest. Because I can say my family, my father has always considered me as the elder, child, not son or daughter. I won't say son; it will give them more privilege. I won't like that. I would agree that they are equal, son and daughter, and I am the firstborn. So I know the responsibilities. And here as well, my in-laws, they always treat me in a way, the same way they treat their son. So Ranjit is also the firstborn in the family. So I think they're very supportive, the entire family. And that helps because, that peace of mind is very important for you. If in order to, you need to grow further, that's really, really important. Again, I was lucky to get that kind of a family. But for people, who are just starting out or who are just transitioning in this period, people might not understand what freelancing is. So you
Right.
have to take your time and you have to explain to them that, see, this is what this is. It'll take some time, but I will make sure it's worth it. So it's your way of handling people. You can't just leave them. They are your family members. They will eventually, understand and figure out that, okay, this is new to them as well. My parents didn't know for the first 6 months that I've left my job. I said I have taken a
Oh,
leave, I'm doing some studies, because they would have not understood until and unless I could give them proper reasons why I have left the job. And then when I showed them my PayPal account, they was like, okay, kar, jo karna hai kar. So you
Right.
have to make them understand, and then they will definitely support you. And my in-laws, my family has been very, very supportive. So that works as a, bonus for both of us.
I think I have two things coming here listening to you. One was the story you shared about, not telling your parents for the first 6 months. So I remember this email course that I've built. One of the questions, that I usually see is that what if I don't get support from my family? So this is one of the examples that I share that, sometimes you need to show them rather than saying it. Action speaks louder than words. And I think that's exactly what you did. You hid it from them for a while, but then when you could actually prove it to them, if you would have gone the first day, you might not have got that support. But you showing it to them that, hey, it's possible, it's doable, I've done this, see, here's the proof, that would have built that confidence. And I think that is one thing I would definitely like to highlight from this podcast, that if you have people where you feel that, okay, it might take me a while to convince my family members or my peers, this is the way. Work in the background, work in secret, and show the proof. People will trust your actions, but you need to work and show the action. So thank you for, sharing that story openly with all of us, because I'm sure it is going to help people. Second, I think I would also like to appreciate that you acknowledged that it is your luck that you've got a supportive family in the in-laws as well, because that is also what I say. I'm incredibly blessed. I'm married for 4 years now. I'm incredibly blessed because I've been able to build a business, is because I have the support from my husband and my families. And honestly, apart from doing a few things, I have not really changed the way they look at me. I have always been treated as, a part of the family as their own. And that is my luck. That is how I'm blessed. So I think I would appreciate you for acknowledging that in the beginning, that it is lucky of you to have that kind of a family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
I can totally understand that sometimes, all the intentions are right for the individual. Everything is nice, but sometimes things just don't work out. Like whatever you are expecting, you will not get that kind of a family that you're getting into. Still, you
Right.
can't lose hope. Like you are an individual. Your life should not depend on what others are thinking about you. Once you won't believe there are so many. I mean, you must have experienced actually this. The moment you get popular, the moment you get successful, people who were not even willing to talk to you, they will come and start speaking to you. I'm talking about
Suddenly it
relatives.
is. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to, cut this off, you can, but I don't care. You can put it up if you want. But there are your personal family members, they will always try to, boost you. But there are certain relatives who are always like, behind your back. They just want to see you getting defeated, and stay away from those people. It's good to just keep the
Right.
positive people around you, and things will start flourishing.
In the very beginning, if I ask this question, the audience is taken aback a little, because that's what we've been discussing since the very start. The narrative is built already, and they don't get their answers of what the journey was. So I always try to go through the journey first and then come to the destination, which is that please share about yourself. What is your business about? Who do you serve? What is your audience? And little about your business model.
Sure. So my name is Rajluxmi Gupta, but I prefer being called Raj. And that's how the business came into picture. Together, my husband Ranjit and me started Ranjit Raj Official on Instagram. And we just brand ourselves as Ranjit Raj. And we are into graphic designing and social media management. We have worked with 100 plus international clients, and in regards to revenue, we have made over $100,000 till now. And when I talk about clients, like there are a lot of people who have this notion that Canva is not something where you can design professional graphics and all of that. So for them specifically, I want to highlight that amongst these clients, we have TED Talks, we have TEDx, and they appreciate, the content, and they have never asked me, looking at the content, that whether you have designed it on Photoshop or Canva. So yes, that's what we have been doing. We are into coaching as well. We teach Canva designing, graphic designing, and we are into freelancing. We teach how to freelance, how to start your own business. And yes, as I've already told you, But let me just reiterate, we were working for almost 6.5 years in the MNC, companies. Like, we have been a part of corporate industry, and then we switched to this, and here we have been for 3.5 years. And yeah, the journey has been amazing, because from being a full-time, MNC corporate worker, now we are a full-time digital entrepreneurs. So it's amazing. Being your own boss is something that we always wanted, and we have got that. And I really am very, very thankful to the god, to whoever is the extreme, power, who is actually enabling that along with our hard work. I think it just works out for everyone who's watching this.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that. I would, want to ask, was there any moment in building this business in the last 3 years where you felt like, I want to give up? It's getting too much to my nerves and it's getting difficult. Because I'm sure those are the moments that come in, entrepreneurial life. Or maybe if not a giving up moment, any moment where you felt that, how do I move past this? Was there any lesson that you learned in last 3 years? Any one that has had the most impact on you?
So, when, like, let's say, I mean, girls, I'm talking about the entire community, women in general, we are very emotional, right? We are very vulnerable. There are times that we'll just cry and we don't know why we are crying. Okay, and you have to
I
deal
know.
with it. That's okay. And something similar happened when we were putting out content. Like, as I told you, we were working from 11 in the morning till 11 at night. We used to come back from office at 12. I used to start a Zoom call from my house, and Ranjit used to be in his house, and we were, just sharing screen and creating content for the next 4 to 5 hours. And after that, only for sleeping 2 to 3 hours, when I used to check out the content, it has got 2 likes, one comment, 3 likes, one comment, and that too from my family members. I mean, no extra person, no followers, nothing. That was disheartening. So that period, I would say, that was most difficult. But I realized that, and we actually had 2 to 3 accounts before Ranjit Raj official, that we wanted to grow, but they didn't work out. So it you can't say, if I would have just left it over there and I would have thought that, okay, this is the end of it, now I have to get into just job, and this is not the cup of my tea, or whatever is the phrase. I am not remembering it right now, but yes, if I would have just regretted that, then it would have not been today where I am right now. That would have not happened. So it's very important that you understand the fact that these things take time. It can't happen overnight. That today you're posting content, tomorrow you're expecting that it'll go viral, until and unless it is. And most of the viral content, I think they are like very weird kind of a content, like a person putting up nail paint and it's getting viral. Then somebody's cutting,
Yeah.
clay, that's getting viral. I mean, there's no productivity out of it. And if you want to
Right.
grow, yeah, I mean, you have to understand that the first 100 followers, be it, first 100 connections, first 100 followers, first 100 subscribers, these are the most difficult ones. If you sustain through
Right.
that, then you are good to go. So that was the period,
Right.
and just learn that be patient. Good things are going to
Right.
happen. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's also, I think, comes from the mindset of an entrepreneur that you built, just when you became an entrepreneur. Thank you so much for sharing that. Before we let you go, I would also want to ask, what is that one thing that you would like to advise to all female founders today, whether they have already started a business, whether they are thinking and or are on the edge of starting a business? What is that one advice that you'd like to give to them?
So I would suggest, not just for the people who are starting off, who are already there, don't overthink and just get started. Because the
Yeah.
problem is, nowadays, my students, they come to me, they're like, ma'am, I don't like the name. I don't like this. What should be the name? Should I use the keyword? They are thinking too much on just the name. And they are spoiling those 2 months, 3 months, and finding an appropriate name. And that too, they're coming up with some weird name, you know. And you won't believe, we have not created a website till date. Like, we are into digital marketing. Till date, we don't have a working website. Every time we buy the domain and we just keep it like that. But that does not, I'm not recommending that don't build your website. But again, you have to understand that it's not mandatory to check all the boxes. You can be a little different, but you have to start and you have to keep on going. It's like a marathon. It's not
Right.
a race that you just run and you win and that's over. It's a marathon. You have to start somewhere. And when you start, you are already ahead of the 100 people behind you. So, yeah, that's the
Right.
only piece of advice I would like to give.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for your time and sharing so many insightful nuggets. I think I've learned a lot today myself, and I'm sure everyone who's listening to this podcast has so much to take back. I'm sure there will be people who would want to get in touch with you or maybe, speak to you. What is the best way to get in touch with you?
So we are most active on Instagram at Ranjit Raj Official. So they can definitely get in touch with us over Instagram.
Yes, and we will definitely put the links below the video in the description. And that is how people can also reach out to you. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for everyone who has watched till the end of the podcast. We'll see you another time with another guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure altogether. Thank you. Take care.